Throw it down, big man.
Welcome everybody back to the Throw It Down Big Fella podcast. I am your host, the one and only Greg Rufus here. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode, you guys. This NFL season, college football season becomes redundant. I get it, but it's some good football action came down this week. Breaking news to you guys. This is recording this on Tuesday morning. I was actually working out and I got the information from ESPN. Devontae Adams is traded to the New York Jets after what I saw last night with Aaron Rodgers and his receiving corps outside of Garrett Wilson and Allen Lazard. Mike Williams, he might as well not show up to work for the rest of the year. Probably going to get released. But I figured something was going to happen to the Jets. So I'll furthermore break that down. All the NFL action, like I said, college football, Memphis Tigers, impressive win. Amongst all the devastation that happened with the hurricane that's going on in the Tampa Bay, Florida region. My sister's in town because of this hurricane. Praying for those families that have been affected and involved in both the hurricanes that came into the Florida coast and outside, the areas. Praying for them. It's just been really devastated for what's going on with them hurricanes. So praying for them. They got it. The Tigers got a win against South Florida, moved the game to Saturday afternoon. So shouts out to them. There is a basketball preseason college basketball tournament going on, St. Jude tournament going on. North Carolina's in town. The men play the North Carolina Tar Heels. The women, they play South Carolina. So downtown tonight's going to be buzzing. That should be exciting. The Memphis Grizzlies preseason got another win against Indiana. They won Saturday. Zach Edey looks like the real deal. He looks like the real deal. But me and my boy Darren, we're going to break down everything NBA, all the questions, all the teams moving forward, over, under, way too early predictions, what we think the season is going to be like. So get ready for that episode coming next week. I'm already going to tell him pre-plan what we're going to talk about. So get ready for that, you guys. But like I said, all the NFL, NBA action, the MLB postseason is here. It's exciting. It's exciting, you guys. Spoiler alert, I had the Yankees and Dodgers in the World Series, and it looks like, Baron, if the Mets or Cleveland, something could happen between these final four teams, but Yankees Dodgers will be a very exciting college World Series. So I'll get into that a little bit. Dante is DiMaggio is going off with the New York Knicks. That's he wants all the smoke. So I'll break that down as well. Also, also early voting is underway in Tennessee. I'll tell you how I feel about it and get everybody out there to vote. This is a very important election, as it's been said over and over again by the media, by me, anyone out there. So I'll give you my thoughts on that as well. But before I start this wonderful episode, you guys, please subscribe to my podcast, Throw It Down Big Fella on YouTube. That's at Throw It Down Big Fella. And also follow on Instagram at Throw It Down Big Fella Pod. I appreciate all the love and support I've been getting. And like I said, coming soon, you guys, I will be moving to a studio. Well excited. I am geeked up. So you guys just continue to show love to me, say prayers for me as well. And just, I am excited to see where this new chapter in my life can lead to. All right. Without further ado, let me break down all the things that happened. Let's start with college football Saturday in press. I would say the Oregon Ducks, very impressive win against Ohio State, a marquee game. I saw a little bit of this. I was actually out at an event down in Bartlett with my mom's stuff. My wife and I were all there. But I saw it on my phone. I was like this, like, hey, but I saw it. Very impressive win. The Ohio State quarterback that slid with like 10 seconds left, not a good look. Very dumb, very just, what are you doing? Like very junior high, middle schoolish behavior. Reminded you of Dak. Remember, I think 2021 playoff game, wild card game, slid in, didn't have time to run a play, and San Francisco 49ers won in Dallas 23-17. Very similar play to that. Just a very, very, very dumb play. Um, yeah, Oregon's for real. I mean, they play Purdue this coming up week. That's they should probably win that. They should. They should. I say should, but knowing what happened to college football, so far this year, anything can happen. But Oregon, they look like the real deal. That was very, very impressive for them. Also, like I said, Memphis winning in South Florida, moved their games. It was supposed to be Friday, moved it to Saturday afternoon. Very impressive their win. Just they continue to win. That's all you can ask for from Memphis Tigers after that uneventful loss that they had against Navy. If they keep on winning, anything can happen. Hey, I mean, so they're doing what they're supposed to do. Shout out to the Memphis Tigers. Um, I'm trying to think. Before I get into this week's games, South Alabama. I don't put this on the deep press. Alabama is not look like Alabama-ish. I know it's not a word. I just made that word up. But Alabama is not looking dominant like they're supposed to. I mean, of course, they had their monster win a couple weeks ago against Georgia. That epic loss that they had to Vanderbilt. And I'm like, okay, you're playing South Carolina. We don't really know a lot about South Carolina's team, like the quarterback, receiver. We don't really know. We know Ole Miss laid into them the following week. So like, okay, this is a feel right game. Get back together type of game because Alabama plays UT in a couple weeks. So we're like, all right, they'll get back in form. It didn't happen. It did not happen. Well, I mean, they play Tennessee this coming up week. That didn't happen. South Carolina have to win. You know, they got the onside kick. This is crazy. They got the onside kick. South Carolina did, and they had an opportunity to win the game. They're like, oh my god, they actually recovered the onside kick. The next play they threw an interception, but it shouldn't have not been that close. Alabama was favored by at least 20 points. Last time I checked, they were favored by 21 points. They won the game 27-25. We get it. Without Jalen Monroe, this team is mediocre. And I'm just going to leave it at that. They are completely mediocre without him, without Ryan Williams. Jalen Monroe is probably looking to his offensive line, his coaching staff, the players in general. They're like, y'all are killing me right now. Like this is stressful. Like y'all are killing me. Y'all need to do better. Like, please help me out. So they got a game. They got the big game Saturday at Knoxville. It's gonna be rocking. What's gonna happen? It's gonna be a very I hope a very good game. But right now I would take UT. I think UT outside of their loss to Arkansas that should have happened have been really dominant. Nico outside of that game against Arkansas has been dominant. Their defense has to show up Alabama in order for them to win this game. Can it show up? If it shows up, then yeah, Alabama can go to UT and win. No problem. I have no problem saying that. But Nico if he plays the way he's been playing this so far this season, outside the Arkansas game, UT's gonna win. Plain and simple. UT's gonna win. But I expect that to be a very, very, very good game. Also impressed, Texas destroyed Oklahoma. And the funny part is after the game, after they won, they had Baker Mayfield's jersey and they put the Texas flag over there. Baker's still in their heads. He's still logically in their heads. What Baker did to them, what, 4 or 5 years, a long time ago. He's still in their heads. Like, so not to take that away from what Texas did and all, but that was very, very funny. Shout out to Texas. Texas looks they're the team to beat. I mean, they played Georgia, marquee game. We know that's a marquee game, so we'll gotta wait to see, what Texas is gonna look like. I mean, Archie Manning, he looks good. I mean, well, I'm sorry, Quinn Ewers came back. I'm sorry, Quinn Ewers came back. He had almost 200 yards, one touchdown, one pick. They just look. What other things can you say? I mean, they just look very dominant. Saturday's games are very, very good. I'm gonna get to those games a little bit as well. Also, Penn State winning against USC, very, very dominant, very, very dominant. Mentioned Memphis, UT winning in overtime against Florida. Okay, I mean, look, the SEC is just so I don't know. I mean, Nico only had 169 yards this game, though I get it, but he's going to be hyped up and ready to go against Alabama this coming up this Saturday. It's going to be rocking. Vanderbilt beat Kentucky. They are 4-2. Who would have thought? Doctors and nurses and all them. Who would have thought? Like actually, Vanderbilt is not that bad of a team. Shout out to them. All right, a little bit of more depressed. Colorado. This was a Colorado Kansas State game. Very good game. Very, very, very good game. Shador, like, come on, man. 4th and 5. Why are we going 40 yards to a receiver and hoping to get a PI? Did it look PI-ish? Did it look like a pass interference? Yes. But I hate the fact that it's 4th and 5. And you just want to go 40 yards. And instead of getting a safe first down, okay, let's keep it moving. All we needed was a field goal. All we needed was a field goal. We didn't need a touchdown. All you needed was a field goal, Shador. You didn't have to go for the home run right then and there. It was just a very odd play. I know Colorado lost Travis Hunter. They were saying he could have came back, but I think Coach Prime really wanted to save him. He's like, look, we got some more seasons left to go. Let's just wait. Let's just wait it out, And I mean, I get it. It's just a flip flap situation, but Colorado has nobody to blame but themselves, the coaching staff, the players. They should have won that game. Should have won that game, but um, moving forward, they play Arizona next week. I mean, this week coming up week. Cincinnati, Texas Tech, Utah, Kansas, Oklahoma State. I mean, they can still go undefeated remainder of the year. Time will tell. 4-2. Could they still get to the playoffs? I don't know, but I mean, it was a valiant effort Colorado put, but it came up a little short. Shout out to Kansas State. They look good. They look good. Give credit where credit's due. My man, the quarterback did the prime time dance. I was like, okay, all right. Hey, Coach Prime, that's my man and all, but when you're the king and when people respect you and all, they do a little showboaty thing to rile you up, do all that. I'm not mad at it. So shout out to Kansas State in a bit of prime time hostile environment. They came out and they won the game. And Boise State, that running back guy, listen, I haven't seen a lot of him. I just heard great things about him. That boy good. That boy is good. 31 carries, 217 yards, a touchdown. He's the Heisman favorite. I mean, I kind of was gonna lead Jalen Monroe. Maybe he's like 2 or 3, but Gente, clearly he's clearly like the guy. They went out clearly the guy that can win Heisman. What's crazy is like I said, any other team like Alabama, Texas, they could get this guy. The only offers he's got from Boise State, I believe, Northwest, like teams that just you would never thought of, like the top tier teams of college football. He went to Boise State. He's doing his thing. Shout out to that young man. He's doing his thing. Like I mentioned, very, very key marquee games coming up this week. Start in the morning. Here's what I would probably start off with. Early morning, Saturday, college football. Miami, Louisville. Miami still undefeated. It could be one of those wonky games. One of these things can happen. Miami, Louisville, Clemson is ranked, Virginia, Indiana, Nebraska. Indiana's undefeated. Mizzou against Auburn. Wonky. Wonky Saturday morning type of game. You already know how it is. Army, shout out. They're undefeated. They're ranked number 23. Anything can happen in that game. It's 2:30 game. Alabama, UT. Alabama's favored by 3 points right now. The total is 56.5. If you take UT, it's plus 130 on the money line. I'm leaning towards you taking UT. I really am. This is a show me game for Alabama. Show me what you got. But playing it safe, I would definitely take the over 56.5. Alabama has to stop somebody. They got to prove to me they can stop somebody moving forward on their defense. 2:30 game on CBS, Michigan, Illinois. That should be a good game. Illinois is 5-1, Michigan 4-2. That should be a very, very interesting game. Trying to see USC Maryland. Nah. Colorado plays Arizona. Like I said, it's a 3 o'clock game on Fox. Arizona's favored by 4. Interesting. I'm leaning. I really want to take Colorado on the money line. I really would. That's spicy. I would definitely consider that to be determined on that. Texas A&M plays Mississippi State, Kentucky. I mean, Texas A&M is favored by 15 and a half. Interesting. Interesting on that. But I would still take Texas A&M. Arkansas, LSU at Arkansas. That's going to be rocking. Arkansas is going to be LSU's only favored by 2.5 points. Another tricky game. Tricky game. And the primetime game, Georgia, Texas. I assume College Game Day will be at Texas for this game. Texas is favored by 3.5 points. Georgia on the money line plus 145, total 56.5. Yeah, I mean, Texas, come on now. I mean, but I would say this, that Georgia has to win this. I mean, Texas is they're playing good, they're undefeated, we get all that. If Georgia can win this and Alabama somehow slips up and loses to UT, what do we have? We have a lot of teams that are rumbled and jumbled up together. Georgia wins this game. Ooh, that's going to be interesting. Interesting to say the least. North Texas at Memphis. Memphis is back home. Memphis favored by 10 points. I would definitely take Memphis to cover that as well. So those are the games that I'm looking forward to in college football this Saturday coming up. All right, let's get into NFL a little bit quickly. Actually, I'm going to recap some of the games that happened, and also I'm going to give you my top 5 teams that I like so far, and bottom 5 teams that I don't like in college football. So I'm gonna get to that list after I get into the recap of what happened last week. Starting with Thursday Night Football, San Francisco against Seattle. San Francisco was not playing around. They were not playing with their food. They dismodeled Seattle. Geno Smith needs to stop throwing the ball too much. I don't know what the game plan is. They need to give Kenny Walker the ball more. They need to give Zach, the backup running back, some room to run. Geno's throwing the ball too much. Too much. Y'all fill in the blanks on that. Needs to fix that immediately. So Seattle looks back in form. They have a Super Bowl rematch coming up this weekend with the Kansas City Chiefs. I will try to get my boy Marcus Hunter in for that episode. That's gonna be fun. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun game. And I hope to get him on there so we can talk about that game. That's gonna be a fun game. I can't wait to see that. Up in London, there was another London game. The Chicago Bears are 4-2. Can you believe this though? The NFC North, like the Chicago Bears are 4-2. Green Bay is 4-2. Detroit is 4-1, and Minnesota's 5-0. 17 wins, the most that they had in NFC North in a very long time. They look loaded. All 4 teams look loaded. Even Chicago. Caleb Williams threw 4 touchdowns. They look unreal, unbelievable. So interesting about, we were worried about Chicago. Well, their offensive line is bad. DeAndre Swift can't get in any lanes because their offensive line is bad. Their defense has actually been pretty good. But we had a lot of questions about Chicago. They're answering them now. So I mean, I'm just saying, be on the lookout, Chicago playoffs. I think me and Darren back then, I think I had Chicago as a dark horse. They're loaded on offense. If everybody's clicking. So we'll see. We'll definitely see about that. Houston beat New England 41-21. No surprise there. Drake May actually did look good. He actually looked well efficient more than Jacoby Brissett. I didn't know. I just didn't understand why Jacoby started. Like Drake May should have just already been there. So he can already just be like, okay, this is what it's going to be in the NFL. Learn from it. Like Peyton Manning did. Just throw him in the fire and he'll come out the rises. He'll be good. But Drake May looked amazing. They have a London game next week against the Jags. Get into that a little bit later. The Commanders and Ravens, Baltimore 130-23. Jalen Daniels looks good. My fantasy quarterback, he can't do no wrong by me. He can't do anything wrong. But that was a good game by him. Lamar Jackson doing Lamar Jackson things. I think Derrick Henry has just given Baltimore a lift up. Like, I question it. And I'll be completely honest, I look like a fool. It's so other people out there that think Derrick Henry, oh, this is the washed up year. Derrick Henry ain't got nothing, blah, 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 blah. I look like a fool right now. Derrick Henry is making me and other people on TV, media, social media, look like a fool right now. He's an MVP discussion. No question about it. Derrick Henry's an MVP discussion. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's playing unbelievable lights out. My Philadelphia Eagles against the Cleveland Doo Browns. They won 20-16. Not impressed. I'm gonna be completely honest. I want to be not as biased as I am, but when I say this, the Philadelphia Eagles are not. They're just not a caliber Super Bowl contender. They're a good team. They can get to the playoffs, probably win the division, but they're just not a good team right now. They're not clicking on all cylinders right now. And Nick Sirianni, I for the love of love of me, and for the love of the fans of Philadelphia and people, Nick Sirianni, what are you doing? What are you doing? Barking and yelling at the fans because they boo because they have every right to boo this team, your coaching staff, everybody. They're not playing at the caliber. And for you to rile up and say, "Yeah, look at me, we beat a Cleveland Browns team that's bad." Yeah, so what? You're supposed they were supposed to dominate the Cleveland Browns. They got lucky on one play. I mean, not lucky. Myles Garrett was the only reason why they scored, and Ron McClown that blocked the field goal and returned it, former Eagle. They're the only reason why they scored Cleveland. Deshaun Watson is just not good. He's not good. And that was a statement game. That should have been one of those 40-10 type of games. Like, cover the spread. They were 8.5-point favorite and only won by 4. It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense. I'm concerned. If I'm an Eagles fan, I'm concerned. But they won. It's the NFL week. We get it. Okay, but just not. I'm not impressed by Philadelphia right now. They need to do better. Also, Green Bay beating Arizona 34-13. Jordan Love looks good. He looks back in form. Here's a surprise, though. Tampa Bay Buccaneers put 51 points on New Orleans Saints, 51-27. Baker threw 3 interceptions and still found a way to win the game. Chris Godwin, he looks back. He is in rare form, ladies and gentlemen, rare form, doing his thing. The running backs they picked up, it was a Tucker, I think, is running back for them. He went off. They look good. They look good. Indianapolis Colts, Tennessee. Indianapolis won 20-17. I mean, look, the Titans are just bad. I'm gonna be fair, honest, because my boy Stanley, he's one of my boys. He's going through right now. It's Will Levis, okay, ladies and gentlemen. Will Levis cannot be the quarterback of this team. He's fun to watch in a bad way, but he cannot moving forward. Cannot be that quarterback. He just can't. He can't be the quarterback of the Tennessee Titans. He is bad. Calvin Ridley is going off. He's second guessing his chance, his option to play with the Tennessee Titans. I don't blame him. DeAndre Hopkins needs to get traded to a contender team during the trading block. It is what it is. The offense is just bad. They're trying their best defensively, but Will Levis is a problem. He's a cancer. Good luck to all the Titans fans the rest of the year. They're not going to win with Will Levis. I just rather just go to Mason Rudolph and find another quarterback next year, or try to get Quinn Ewers or somebody. I don't know. Try to get a new quarterback besides Will Levis. It's just he's the problem. He's the problem. The Chargers defeated the Broncos. Chargers defense looks amazing. Justin Herbert them look amazing. They look like a surprise dark horse playoff team. I'm just gonna call it the way I see it. They do. Pittsburgh defeated Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are trash, garbage. Like I said, they just traded Devontae Adams. They are in tank mode. They have no quarterback. Ain't no Connor or Gardner Minshew. I don't know. Like, either way, it's hot garbage or garbage. One of the two. I don't know. But a lot of problems going on in Las Vegas. To be continued. Pittsburgh, Najee Harris looked good. Justin Fields, I think, solidified. Probably need to be the quarterback the rest of the season. Good win for Pittsburgh. They continue. They actually score more than 20 points. That's actually a very good thing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Detroit Lions and Dallas Cowboys. Okay, let me get into this. Let me get to the other 2 games, 3 games. I'm sorry. Before I get to this, Atlanta beat Carolina 38-20. No surprise. Cincinnati defeated the Giants 17-7. Ugly game. Joe Burrow. They got problems, but at least they defeated the Giants. Good for them, I guess. And Monday Night Football, the Bills and the Jets. Buffalo won 23-20. Josh Allen unbelievable things with the less amount of talent he has. Shout out to him for that. Shout out to Dalton winning my fantasy football. Shout you out. Aaron Rodgers. I'm not gonna put all this on Aaron Rodgers. Not gonna put all of it on him. He deserves some blame. But the kicker, Greg Zerline, you making the Gregs look bad. 2 missed field goals, all the penalties they had. Now they got Devontae Adams. Let's see what they do moving forward. But yeah, I can't put all of them on Aaron Rodgers though. But the Jets are a mess. But let's see what they do with Devontae now. But they lost Monday night game, 23-20. All right, let me get to Detroit and Dallas game. Woo, boy, so many. I'm gonna try to keep it as sweet and as plain as I possibly can. The Dallas Cowboys are in trouble. And I know they're not going to do this. I know for a fact they're not going to do this. But Mike McCarthy needs to be on watch right now. He should have been on watch during this whole season. Like after their playoff debacle last year, he should have been on Mike McCarthy watch now. Now, officially, Cowboys fans, you can agree with me. My dad, you can agree with me. Other friends that I know that are Cowboys fans, you guys can agree with me on this. Mike McCarthy is a problem. A problem. And he probably needs to go. If we're gonna sit here and be honest with each other, be honest with each other. I'm with it with my coach Nick Sirianni. He needs to go. There's a problem going on with him. He thinks he's just if Cowboy fans to Eagles fans listen and listen to me good, they are quitting on Mike McCarthy in Dallas. They are quitting on him. And I don't know what message he's sending to them. I also heard this morning Jerry Jones is going off. He's losing his mind. They need to get rid of this stench once and for all. And I feel like it's going to be too late. I feel like the Cowboys might actually go like 3-7, 3-6. They might lose like 3 in a row because their schedule is tough going on. They play after their bye week this week. They play San Francisco, Atlanta, Philly, and Houston. They can lose off the next 4 games, and if they do that, they're 3-7. Do you make a move then? I kind of think at that point they are going to make a move if they lose 4 in a row. But if they go 2-2, 1-3, maybe 3-1, maybe they go 4-0 after this bye week. He's going to still be there. But then if they go to the playoffs, 9-8, 10-7, go to the wild card and lose, they're gonna be like, well, Mike McCarthy overcame so much, and he's gonna stay in the Dallas Cow. He has to stay there for blah 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 blah. Just get rid of it and start clean, fresh. I honestly believe Bill Belichick will go to the Cowboys if given the opportunity by Jerry Jones. But Jerry Jones, in reverse order, he has to be like, look, okay, Bill, you take over. I fall back. Jerry has to fall back. Is Jerry Jones willing to fall back and not just be an owner? I mean, like the GM, whatever. Like, fall back. Let your son take over. Let other people take over, Jerry, besides you. You can still be the face. You can still be the face. But fall back. It can't just be about you, Jerry. And until that happens, until Jerry Jones falls back into just being an owner and not being a GM, let his son take over. And they fire Mark McCarthy either this year or next year, get a new coach in, whatever. The Cowboys are cursed. The Cowboys are just cursed. Like, no move. They didn't do anything during the offseason. Nothing during the offseason. And look at it. They have no running game. It's just offense, playmakers, just CeeDee Lamb. They need to get Jake Ferguson more involved. Dak Prescott is just not reading the field better. Like, I don't know if he's not in the playbook more. I don't know. But in injuries as well. It all can happen. But I just hope they just don't think if they have a bad year this year, bring everybody back next year and just start over, run it back. You can't run it back with the same team next year. Something's got to give for next year. A lot of people say, oh, the season's over now. It's still a lot of football left to be played, but you can't bring that same back team next year and Jerry Jones and all that. Something's got to change. And when that happens, the Cowboys will be back to where they belong. But right now, they stink. They stink. They're bad. But can they get better? They can. They're America's team. Everybody wants the Cowboys to be good. They're the highest fan base in the NFL. I get it. But this is bad. Like it's just a lot of things to be happen. But hey, these next four games are going to prove a lot moving forward for the Cowboys. The 49ers game, you know how important that game is to everybody. You know how it is. So let's just see how they go moving forward, the Dallas Cowboys. But it's bad right now. Bad. It's bad. It's nothing else, nothing around it. It's just bad. Um, quickly let me highlight some of the games, marquee games I think are this week coming up, week 7 in NFL. Um, Thursday night game. Denver and New Orleans, the return of Sean Payton. Sean Payton going back to New Orleans could be exciting. Could be good. They're favored by 2.5. Another London game. This one's bad. Patriots Jags. Look, I'm gonna be completely honest. Not gonna tune in. I'll tune in a little bit, but this is one of those. Okay, let's stop with these early morning games. They have one more coming up in Germany, coming in a couple weeks, but yikes! Like if the Jaguars lose this game, Doug Peterson will be fired. Stand by that. He's getting fired. So you can best believe he can just stay in London and no, he can come at Jacksonville and he's gonna get fired. So that's gonna happen. Uh Let me see. Titans Bills. Bills are favored by 8.5. I don't know. Like I said, told you about Will Levis earlier, how I feel. My stance feels the same. He's exciting to watch in a bad way, but if you're trying to win football games, Tennessee, you know what you got to do. Pull the plug on Will Levis. Houston and Green Bay, that's a good game. Both teams are unbelievably good. Green Bay is favored by 2.5. That should be an interesting game. Minnesota and Detroit. Wow. And also prayers up to Hayden Hutchinson. I'm sorry for Detroit. They did their thing. They did the thing last week against Dallas. But Aiden Hutchinson's injury is horrible, gruesome. Praying for him, speedy recovery, him and his family. That was bad. That was bad. But this game should be good. Minnesota is actually favored by 2.5. Philly, New York. Saquon's return to the New York Meadowlands. Philly is favored by 3.5. Let's see. You know, I'm sure Saquon has it circled in his this game circled in particular. That should be a very, very, very interesting game. Looking at these other games, I mean, Seattle, Atlanta. Atlanta's exciting to watch. Kirk Cousins, 509 last couple weeks ago. See, okay, let's see. They beat Carolina. Let's see. Okay. Um, Rams and Raiders. I feel like the big fight might be outside the games. I mean, you see all the fight videos have been going on, horrible, horrible. But you're gonna get a lot of those fights in this Raiders and Rams game. Um, yeah, not looking forward to watching that. Um, these other games. I mean, of course, the marquee game. I feel like because it's a Super Bowl rematch, Kansas City, San Francisco. Um, San Francisco is actually favored by 1.5 points. Interesting. That's an interesting. So, okay. Um, look back game is in San Francisco. Let's see. Let's see what they're about. Mahomes, they winning. Hasn't been really impressive. Hasn't been Mahomesy like, but they're still winning the game. Travis Kelsey looking to probably take over the reins now that Rashid Rice is out for a while. It's still Isaiah Pacheco. Let's see how they respond to that. Let's see if 49ers can actually go move up a little bit, and everybody's getting healthy. McCaffrey still don't know when he's coming back, so that'd be an interesting game. The Jets and Steelers Sunday night game. The Jets are actually favored by 1 point. This could be Devontae Adams' first game. Could be. I don't know. But he is a Jet now. I would be surprised if they actually did play this game, but let's just see if can this actually turn the season around. This move right here by the Jets, can it actually turn the season around? Let's see. There's actually two games on Monday Night Football. Don't know why. But the first game, Baltimore and Tampa Bay, that should be a good game. Should be a good game. Baltimore's favored by 3.5. Tampa Bay on the money line. Kind of spicy. Kind of spicy. I like that. Then also the Chargers and the Cardinals. The Chargers are favored by 2.5. Up in the desert, Kyler Murray. We'll see. I mean, Justin Herbert. It's just we'll see. But this game is only exclusive on ESPN Plus. I hate it for those who don't have ESPN Plus who can't or not able to watch this game. But NFL getting two games on Monday night. Don't understand why. Baseball's going on. Uh, interesting time. Okay. Oh, also my top five list. I'm sorry, I was rambling about all the NFL stuff, but my top five list NFL teams right now, I would say Minnesota one, Detroit two, Kansas City Chiefs three, Baltimore Ravens four, and surprise, surprise, I do not have the Philadelphia Eagles on there. I have the Washington Commanders, even though they did lose to Baltimore this past week. Washington still looks good. I mean, they went toe to toe and lost by 7 points. Um, I have Washington right now. They still like a legit team. Jane Daniels off rookie of the year, hands down. Um, I'm standing by that. Worst teams in the NFL right now. It fluids. It can fluctuate. But right now, currently, I'm be honest, the Carolina Panthers are still the worst team. They still are. But Cleveland, I might have to switch. I'm a switch. I had Carolina one, Cleveland two. I'm gonna have Cleveland one, Carolina two, Jacksonville Jaguars three. Sorry, Tennessee Titans at number four, and New England Patriots five. Um, like I said, there are no winless teams in the NFL. I guess that's a good thing, but those are my bottom five teams right now. Let me know what you guys think about my list: best teams, worst teams. Did I miss anyone out? Did I omit anybody? Please let me know in the comments section down below on this wonderful podcast, and I will hopefully you guys can do that and I can respond to it in wonderful fashion. All right, quickly, let me get into a little bit of baseball, you guys, real quick. It's been pretty good so far. So far as we speaking as I'm speaking to you guys reporting today, the New York Yankees are up 1-0 against the Cleveland Guardians. They play two nights. Trying to see the pitching matchup. Cole versus BB. I think New York should win. I'm not gonna say sweep because that's disrespectful, but if you're the more superior team, the pathway for the Yankees get to the World Series is simple: pitching and Aaron Judge and clutch hitting Jazz Chisholm for the Yankees. Simple, Juan Soto, all of it. It's just simple. Yankees should get to the World Series. The Dodgers Mets have just been really, really good. um, I expect it to be a fight. I expect it to go like 6 or 7 games. Honestly, I do. Um, I still want I still think the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. I still believe in them. I really do. And they have all this talent in the world. And the Mets do too. Pete Alonso and Francisco Lino. I get it, but you have one of those players, Shohei Ohtani, who hasn't really gone off yet. He's had a couple games against the Padres in the NL wild card, the division series. I'm sorry, division round. We're waiting for that moment. They're in New York. They're playing the Mets. I believe executives really want Yankees Dodgers. That's like their marquee. We're gonna get some ratings if we have Yankees Dodgers. Yankees Mets too will probably be like a number two Subway Series going back to like 2000. Mike Piazza, Roger Clemens, all of them. That's probably what the executives want. The executives they will probably take that too. Yankees Dodgers is like number one. And again, no disrespect to Cleveland. Nobody wants to see Cleveland and the Mets or the Dodgers and Cleveland. Like, I'm sorry, those two options that it's out. If it happens, it happens. And I don't mean no disrespectful way. But the ratings guys and the non-casual baseball fans, Yankees, Dodgers, I say Yankees, Dodgers, they're like, ooh, we heard about the Dodgers. We know about the Yankees, of course. Yankees, Dodgers, Yankees, Mets. Like, ooh, Battle of New York. Those two matchups, marquee, are so much better on paper and what the media wants and all that. Fans probably in particular too than the other two series I talked about. So it's been going good so far. It's exciting. Can't wait to see what happens tonight. Moving on through the week. Game three, like Dodgers Mets, is on Wednesday. Severino is pitching for the Mets, and Bueller, I'm sorry, pitching for the Dodgers. Should be good. Should be exciting to watch. And finally, you guys, as I close out this wonderful, wonderful episode, early voting in Tennessee is underway. I'm actually going to vote tomorrow, early vote down in Tennessee. Very important election, you guys, with gun control and, of course, the soon-to-be president of the United States and also Senate votes as well. can't stress this enough, you guys, how important this election is. Every election is, but this one in particular. Um, just get well educated on which candidate you would like to vote for and what laws you would like to abide by with the gun law situation and all that. Um, no early voting in Mississippi, but Tennessee, Arkansas, there is. So just encourage everybody. And for those people that you know, people that are not willing to vote, that have the opportunity to vote, get them to vote. It's very important. You can't sit here and say that you won't change, you want things this and that to be done. You don't have the opportunity to vote. Just please go out and vote, make a change. All votes matter. I remember that slogan. It was like 2004 or 2008. Like I was so excited my first time to vote. I was actually up in college, and it was my birthday, the time that President Barack Obama got elected. One of the best birthday gifts of my life was President Obama getting elected. That was so it changed my life. Like it saw things different. I cried, like literally I cried because it was one of those where were you at type moments. And I just remember that like it was yesterday. So this year's election is the day after my birthday. So this time of year is just wonderful. And it's like, wow, this can happen if you put your mind to it. Like you never thought it could happen, but it actually did, having a black president, United States. Like I said, we get the opportunity first, black woman, or we get Donald Trump, you know, it's what you want. But you can't, like I said, sit here and talk about the country, talk about the government if you don't want to put your mind into it, put your vote or written, whatever, your vote into it. You can't sit there and say that. You got to go out and vote. And so just encourage everybody, please go out and vote and make a change in the community today. All right, you guys. That will conclude. I have nothing else to say, but this will conclude a wonderful episode of the Throw It Down Big Fella podcast. Please subscribe to this wonderful podcast, you guys, at Throw It Down Big Fella, and also follow on Instagram at Throw It Down Big Fella Pod. Like I said, I will try to get the one and only Marcus Hunter here next week to talk about the Super Bowl rematch between Kansas City and the San Francisco 49ers, and also talk about all the other NFL action that's going on in that week. Also, next week, you guys, we will have a special NBA preview episode with my boy, the one and only Darren Randolph. He will be here. We'll talk about all things NBA, all the questions, what we're gonna like, what we dislike, the storylines going in. It's just a whole wonderful in the NBA for all you NBA lovers like me, and I know a lot of y'all. Get ready for that episode. That's going to be a jam-packed, fun episode for you guys to check out. If there's nothing else, and without further ado, thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Until then, peace out.
Throw it down, big man.